staying on the trading topic, what
Mhm.
are some four trading tips from the Dream Team?
Yeah, I wanted to chime in and get a different perspective, so it wasn't just us. So I asked them what did they think. Shout out to the Dream Team. Number one, Pierre said, "Don't borrow money or quit your job to trade." I know everyone has this fantasy, and I'll tell you, entrepreneurship is not easy. For any business owner, any entrepreneur that's been full time, can you please write in chat if business and doing business full time is easy or not? Because the sacrifices that you're going to have to make, and especially for Black men, the lack of balance that's there sometimes is really tough. So don't borrow money to trade under any circumstances, and don't quit your job to trade. If you have a job that is providing you consistent income, insurance, stability, when you have that job, it's going to allow you to trade better. Your trades are a hell of a lot tougher when all of your income has to come from that. And here's what happens. You'll quit. You have an incredibly liquid market, and then you quit your job, liquidity dries up. And you're like, what the hell happened? The market was just smooth 2 months ago, and now you got a pressure on top of you. Number two, master two indicators, and that's it. I don't care what anyone else says. The two that I look at, I don't look at anything else outside of that. Can I trade ranges and breakout? Yes, do all of it. But once you master two moves, you're good. And those two indicators have to work in every market condition. Up market, down market, flat, high inflation, low inflation, squeeze, the liquidity, like in how the Forex market dried up and then went to crypto. It has to work in every market. Number three, only trade your setup and nothing else. Be honest with me. Put this in chat. How many of you learned a setup? I don't care what setup it is. And then you deviate. If you learned on the 1 hour, you then traded the 30-minute or the 2 hour or the 4 hour or the day, or right? Trade one setup, master the hell out of it. Don't deviate. Number four, you need one target. And if it's one thing I'm going to do better this year, I'm going to push you guys to one target. For those of you that was at InvestFast and got the Holy Trinity, you know what the target is. But if you guys are trading NASDAQ, 800 ticks, if you're trading futures, is what your target should be. 100 tick stop loss. After 200 ticks, lock in 40 and let it run. Please put one target in chat. And then finally, my last piece of advice, only 24 trades on a year. I know it's not sexy because everyone wants a big home run, right? But when a market is how it is the last couple of weeks, you really see who's been following their plan. In an up market, like last year, you were able to get wins even if you didn't know what you were doing. Now we get to see, okay, great. Who's sticking to a plan? Who's panicking? Now, over the last 2, 3, 4 years, have you bought 500, 600 shares, 700 shares or something? And then also your trading should get a hell of a lot easier. So if we open up on CNBC and they're screaming, the futures market is down 200 points or 300 points before we get started, you should know that we're going to fall. You should be looking to short. You want to short at the top of the mountain or top of the market and then ride it down, hit your target, walk away and leave. But oftentimes we get so hyped and say, well, I can short the market, then ride it back up and I'm going to short it back down. And then it's that gambler's mentality. Please put in chat, I will not gamble with my money. I will invest and trade to win. And I know it's something very simple, but when I ask most people, are you investing to make money, be rich or be free? Half of the people don't say no. Don't say yes. I just want to get, 200-300. I just want to get 500. I'm like, no, but why only take 500 if you can hit 7,000 or 8,000, then take half of that money and then put it back into the long term? So number one, don't borrow money or quit your job to trade. Number two, master two indicators. Number three, only trade your setup and don't trade anything else. Number four, you need to focus on one target. And number five, only 24 trades on the year.
That's it.
Two indicators, y'all.
Two per month.
Chime in. But I want you guys to chime in as well and give different perspectives.
Yeah, no. Well, first I gotta say, hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We are fastly approaching 7,000 people on the check-in. So take a minute to like the video. We will be talking about metaverse, but we have to get more likes first.
Yeah, I'll just add really quickly in because I know like the two indicators like that you speak about all the time. I would suggest that people get an understanding of all indicators and then figure out which two are best for you, right? Because a lot of times we could tell them, and they're like, all right, well, the 72 EMA, I really don't. I kind of like using the 50. Well, let's understand what EMA is first. Let's understand what MACD is first. Let's understand what the RSI is first.
Yeah.
Let's understand, you know, all these things. And so it's like, all right, well, these work for me. So I'll just add that.
Well, can I chime even with that? If we tell them to study every indicator,
not study them, just understand what they are. Right. So there's a difference between like I'm becoming obsessed with what RSI is, and I'm looking at every chart and finding the RSI, or versus understanding what the RSI is.
So would you say for beginners, the Bollinger Bands and the EMA 100?
I honestly think whatever indicator someone will obey. Fellas, okay, now look to your lady while you're watching Market Mondays and say, baby, can I go study every woman but you and to understand you better?
Good analogy.
How you do one. You can look. Now, I'm going to tell you, for some of you who have not had them options, sometimes you can look so much and have too much variety, you ruin the main thing. I'm telling you from personal experience, not nothing outrageous.
That would imply you got a main thing.
No theory, huh?
Right? If you got a main thing, until you got to find the main thing.
You got a date until you get married?
There you go.
Yeah, but going back to where my setups came from, everyone, please type in chat. For real, that's really good. Yeah. What are the two moves that Michael Jordan was most known for?
I mean, the fadeaway.
Steve Kerr pushed him.
Stop.
Fadeaway, right?
And I would put free throw line dunk. Probably.
No, that's not a move.
I mean, his highlight move.
He means like
I guess reverse layup. Reverse layup.
No, he did the reverse layup one time. He means like something that he actually does.
It's fadeaway. So what's the other one?
Fadeaway.
That's one. What's the other one?
Yep. My hoopers know, and I'm saying this for a reason. Every great player. That's funny. And write this for Steph as well. Right. Every great player has a go-to move.
Yeah.
As a trader, why do you not have a go-to setup? If your life is on the line, what setup are you going to trade? Now, that setup should be what you use every time. The correlations that I look at from sports and everything in nature, what you're going to see across life, you're going to see the same parallels. The top 5% have the same habits. The top 1% in every industry usually have the same habits. All high performers have go-to moves. Barack Obama had go-to speeches during times of need. Buffett has like a go-to person, which is he's right, Munger, that he gets counsel from. Munger has a
Charlie.
Yeah, like has a person that he goes to. Most people are winging it too much. And if you don't know what your go-to setup is, what your perfect setup is, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So please write this down. You need one move that you master that is going to give you the championship and money that you need.
But why'd you laugh about the fadeaway?
No, you said step back. I said fadeaway. You said step back.
He
had no step back.
He didn't have a step back?
No, James Harden has a step back.
No, James Harden reinvented the step back.
He reinvented it.
He reinvented it.
Jordan didn't have a step back.
He had a step back.
Did not have a step back. Put in chat if Jordan had a step back.
So what's the two moves, Ian? What's the two moves?
Fadeaway and step back.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What step back?
He had a step back,
I need
bro.
somebody DM me a highlight of him doing a step back.
He had a step back, bro.
Tell me one, like, give me a highlight where he has a step back.
What do you mean a highlight? He had a step back. It's like 20 years ago. I'm not like Rain Man.
Nah, bro.
And even with that, you can make parallels. And I'll tell you one correlation, and Dom, I won't go too crazy. But understanding the probabilities of
he did not have
percentage shots that he made. He was the greatest, probably superstar mid-range shooter, right? So from that, I took away, opposed to always trying to get 800 points, why not have a setup where I can easily get 200? So that'd be like my layup, then go for the long target. That's why I always tell you guys, if you study everything, you'll start to see the correlations and everything, even how Brady sets up his plays. Look at when Brady needs a first down, what is the average number, this is for the snipers, the average number of yards of completion that he'll have. Write that number down, correlate that. So if it's 3 yards, make it 3 points. If it's 10 yards, write that down, because there's correlations between top athletes. And what I'm doing is I'm using sports, MMA, other parallels to tie in to the market and see what targets should be. And when you plot them out over time, you'll see that it all lines up to be the same.
My graduates from my school Being Forbes. Bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop. Bag drop.
Bag drop.